There are certain fundamental truths about the tech world that anyone, no matter their age, OS performance, or Wi-Fi speed can agree on. Number 1. Every new gadget is advertised as being a game changer, but ends up being just a slightly shinier rectangle that costs more than your rent. Number 2. Your phone battery will always hit 1% right when you desperately need Google Maps, usually in the rain, in a city you've never been to, while a suspicious man in a tracksuit starts walking towards you. And number 3. Every single year, without fail, we get the same tired debate. Will the new Pixel finally beat the iPhone? Well, here we go again, because the Pixel 10 might actually, possibly, maybe, be the one to do it. And yes, I know, people have been saying that since the Pixel 2, every time promising, this is the year Google finally takes the crown. But this time feels way different. This time, Google isn't just throwing AI features at us like parade candy. They're aiming directly at Apple's weak spots with a bazooka. And the iPhone 16 and the upcoming iPhone 17 are, well, let's just say they might be in trouble. Now let's start with the cameras. If there is one single thing Pixel phones have always done right, is photography. It's been Google's thing for years. Their don't bother bringing a DSLR selling point. The Pixel 10 Pro is rumored to pack a 50 megapixel main sensor, a new 64 megapixel ultrawide, and a telephoto that can handle 6 times optical zoom without turning your photo into a pixelated Minecraft painting. But here is the kicker. It's not just about cramming in megapixels like you're playing some spec sheet Pokemon game. Google's also rolling out next-gen AI image processing with the Tensor G5 chip, the kind that makes night sight look like a candle compared to the sun. We're talking so good that you can take a photo in a pitch black cave during an earthquake while being chased by bats and raccoons, and it will still look like a National Geographic cover shot. Meanwhile, in the Apple world, the iPhone 16's camera upgrades are, well, let's just say fine, solid even, but Apple is still stuck in that 12 megapixel is fine mindset for most of their lenses. They rely heavily on computational photography to do the heavy lifting. And hey, that works well enough for Insta bronze pics, but when it comes to pro level zoom, astrophotography, or capturing a raccoon mid-chase in total darkness, the Pixel 10 Pro might just run laps around it. As for the iPhone 17, rumor mill says Apple might finally bring in a periscope lens for better zoom, basically playing catch up to what Google has been doing for a while. But that is still a year away, and by then, Google might be already on Pixel 11 bragging rights. Next up, AI, artificial intelligence, or as Apple likes to call it, Apple Intelligence, the new arms race in a way. If you think Apple Intelligence on iOS 18 was impressive, then brace yourself, because Google's coming in like it's been training for this moment since the invention of Gmail. The Pixel 10 will ship with Android 15 and a buffy up Gemini AI tools. Not just fun party trick AI, but real everyday useful stuff. Live call translation in multiple languages, AI powered photo and video editing that looks like Hollywood VFX, voice commands that understand context instead of making you repeat yourself like an unpaid intern, and predictive typing so accurate it is borderline creepy. The difference? Apple Intelligence is fine if you live in the US, speak English, and don't mind that half the features are being rolled out later. Translation? Maybe next year, maybe never. And what about Google? They're rolling their AI out globally from day number 1. That means it is faster, it is more private, and thanks to that Tensor G5 chip, a lot of it runs directly on device, so it doesn't need to be glued to a decent Wi-Fi connection just to understand that when you say set a reminder for mom's birthday, you mean your mom, not some woman named mom in your Gmail contacts. Now on to battery life. Battery life is one of those things that every company swears they've finally solved, and then you end up plugging in your phone at 3 PM anyway. But the Google Pixel 10 Pro might actually deliver. We're hearing about a 5200 milliamperes battery, more efficient LTPO OLED displays, and Google's notoriously good battery optimization tricks. Early whispers from testers suggest we could be looking at 2 days of normal use. Compare that to the iPhone 16 Pro Max, already one of the best iPhone batteries ever. But the smaller iPhone 16 models still wheeze their way through the day if you're scrolling TikTok, taking photos, and doing anything GPS related. Unless Apple pulls a miracle for the iPhone 17 lineup, this could be Google's year to brag about endurance. And then there is the ching ching, money. And this is where Google might land the knockout punch. The standard Pixel 10 could start at just $699, with the Pixel 10 Pro sitting around $999. Now, compare that to the iPhone 16 Pro at $999 and the Pro Max at $1,199, and the Pixel suddenly starts looking like a bargain. You're getting comparable, or in some cases better, hardware, more AI tools, and arguably the best smartphone camera system in the world for less money. And in 2025, when people are tired of Apple's nickel and dime tactics, charging extra for faster chargers, still no USB-C accessories in the box, etc., that's going to turn heads. But here's where it gets real interesting. Because the Pixel is finally breaking into the mainstream conversation, social media chatter is shifting. Even some long-time iPhone users are side-eyeing the Pixel after Google's Pixel 9 marketing blitz. They saw AI do things Apple can't match yet, like erasing unwanted background noise from videos in real time, or magically reframing photos without losing detail. Tech reviewers too have been slowing warming up to Google's hardware. Many said last year's Pixel 8 Pro was the best phone of 2023, and that was before Google had the Tensor G5, better zoom, and next-gen AI. Of course, regardless of what Google says in the paper, in the ideal world or the real world, nothing's perfect. Pixel phones have still got their quirks. Translation? Bugs. Launch day updates that break random things. Camera features mysteriously disappearing for a month, and Google's bad habit of killing off services and features without warning. Remember Google Reader? Stadia? Yep, that's what I mean. And Apple still has the ecosystem. If you're logged into the iCloud, AirDrop, iMessage, Apple Watch, and your MacBook workflow, switching to a Pixel is like leaving a cult. It is possible, but you're going to miss the free snacks and matching uniforms. But here is the bottom line. For the first time in a long time, it feels like the Pixel isn't just competing with the iPhone. It might actually be leading in key areas that regular people care about. Cameras, AI, battery life, and most importantly, the price. And if Google sticks the landing without the usual day one patch to fix the patch that broke the patch nonsense, the Pixel 10 could be the phone that finally forces Apple to stop coasting on brand loyalty and actually push innovation again. So, will the Pixel 10 finally beat the iPhone? Honestly, maybe this time. At the very least, it is going to make the next round of Apple vs Google fights on Twitter or X, or whatever Elon's calling it this week, way more fun. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. See ya.